What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to yet another Motivation Monday. I got a quick question for you. So, how often do you feel like you're not giving enough attention to different aspects of your life? So you constantly feel like you're trying to play catch up with yourself, right? Like you want to fix all these different things that are going on, but you always seem to just be behind everything. Well, you're in luck. Because today, this is the intro video to a new mini-series that I'm doing that revolves around the 9 dimensions of wellness. And, well, you might ask, what are the 9 dimensions of wellness? Great question. I'm going to explain to you what those are. So, strap in, grab yourself a good notepad and pen, grab yourself a cup of coffee, whatever, get comfortable, because I'm about to give you a bunch of information. If you want to learn how to have a more well-rounded life and what skills and what areas those specific parts of your life are, well, then stick around, because I'm going to be going over the 9 dimensions of wellness and everything that encompasses right after this. So, welcome back, everyone. My name's Irvin, here with Feel Good Digital Media. And what you're watching right now is Motivation Monday. This is a series that I started, that I release on Mondays, obviously, is meant to help you kind of set your week up for success and help you just kind of live a better life. I just kind of give out tips on things like how to wake up earlier or how to just start your week off right. Those videos will be in a playlist at the end if you want to go back and watch those. But let's get to what this video is about. So, I told you I will be introducing you to the 9 dimensions of wellness. And probably a lot of you don't know what that is. And a reason why I decided to bring this back was, so this time last summer, I started a podcast series called the Feel Good Project. Hence why I'm naming this mini-series the Feel Good Project. It was a podcast series that I decided to do because I'm currently a student here at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and I'm majoring in community health and wellness. I wanted to find a way to express what I'm learning and share what I was learning with others. So I decided to do a podcast because it seemed the easiest to me, and I hadn't done any other type of media stuff. So I just figured, hey, I can record myself speaking without putting myself in camera like I do now. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So each week I release an episode depicting one of the 9 dimensions of wellness. I described what it is, things to ask yourself about it, resources, and then I brought on a guest to kind of speak on that dimension of wellness at the end. And it was great. It was well received. I think a lot of people really enjoyed it. But now at this point, I think it's kind of gotten buried, and I want to kind of bring it forward again, but this time me talking to you face to face I think might be a little more fun, and you might get a little more out of it. So I'm rebooting this thing. If you want to listen to the actual podcast itself, if you look up Mindcation, which is another series that I have on this channel, if you look at the first season and you look at the first, I believe, 10 episodes, it'll be my entire collection of the Feel Good Project, and you'll be able to listen to what I was saying last year. All that information still relevant right now, and all of that still applies to me right now. But this year, I just kind of wanted to re-up it, kind of speak on it a little bit more, and kind of tell you about what I've learned over the last year. Because at this time last year is when I was kind of going through a lot. I wanted a fresh start, and didn't know where to start. So I looked at the 9 dimensions of wellness, and then through the 10 weeks that I focused on them not just on the podcast, but in my actual life. So I put in a lot of self-reflections in those podcasts because I wanted to improve in those things as well, like other people. So in that series, I kind of grew a lot. And as you can imagine, from this time last year to where I am now, I'm in a whole different place. And I've gone through a whole lot of other things that I couldn't have expected. But focusing on those 9 dimensions of wellness really set me up to be able to face a lot of adversity that I came that came through fruition over the last year. So I'm excited to kind of share that with you again. And so the series going forward, each week I will be focusing on one specific dimension of wellness, and then I'll give you a quick definition of what it is, kind of some guiding questions, and then kind of give you some of my own personal background with that dimension of wellness and kind of how I applied it to myself and how I learned more about it myself as well. So I think that's all that I need to say in that background info on why it's called the Feel Good Project and stuff. But now let's get to what the 9 dimensions of wellness are and why they're important for you to kind of keep track of. So those 9 dimensions are, and I'm sorry I'm going to use my cheat sheet to look at them because I don't remember them off the top of my head all the time. So the 9 dimensions are career, cultural, financial, intellectual, spiritual, social, physical, emotional, and environmental. So those are the 9 dimensions of wellness. And what wellness means and kind of well-being, what this is all about, is just being able to have a well-rounded life, that you feel is complete. It's not like you're going to be perfect in these areas, but when you identify these areas, you kind of figure out what you need to most work on. Because like I said in the intro, right, you don't always know what you need to work on, right? Like sometimes you just feel like, oh, my life's a mess, but you don't know why it's a mess, right? So for me, what really helped is putting a face or a label on the different areas of my life and being able to see like, oh, I wasn't taking care of my emotional well-being, that's why I wasn't doing well. Or like, oh, I wasn't taking care of my financial well-being, which is why I was so stressed. My finances and my budgets were all off and I was kind of going money crazy and I didn't even realize it. So that's why I kind of think this stuff is super important. Most people hear about, your physical well-being and your emotional well-being, but not very often do you hear about the other 7. So that's kind of what I want to highlight in this mini-series, right? I'm going to hit on both emotional and physical, but you guys already kind of know about those, right? I want to get more in depth into the other 7, because those are just as important to living a holistic life. And I'm not saying if you only focus on these things that you have a perfect life, because that's just not true, right? But knowing these 9 areas and identifying things in your own life about these 9 areas will help you, like I said, get more of a sense of control with yourself and just be able to find clarity. And I think having clarity in your life is a great way to get yourself to move forward in your life. And I think it goes great with this Motivation Monday series because you feel more motivated, you feel more driven when you feel like you have control, right? And when you can take control of these 9 areas in your own life, you feel like, oh man, now I'm back in the driver's seat, now I'm in control of my own life, and let's see where I can go. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you get excited for next week, and we'll see where we end up. I hope that we're all able to grow together and continue to build this Feel Good family here. If you don't follow me on our social media, at Feel Good Digital Media on Instagram, and then at Magic_Ramirez4 for my personal Instagram, and then same thing on Twitter and Facebook. So go ahead and check those out. That's kind of where you can keep up to date the best with all things Feel Good Digital Media. But yeah, so if you enjoy what you heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me, and share it with whoever you want to take this journey on with you. I think it helps a lot if you're able to take this journey with someone else. So share with your accountability buddy. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you stay motivated, stay driven, and accomplish all the things that you're going to try to accomplish this week, right? And that's all, folks. That's all I have. I hope that's not copyrighted. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you all next week. And as always, just go out there and feel good. Peace. Como que no fue, si yo recuerdo que fue